Hello and welcome back. This is BSN 2558 Human Resource Management, and today we're going to talk about appraising employee job performance and the use of performance appraisals. I'm only going to be able to touch on this topic briefly. You're going to need to follow up and augment what I go over here in your textbook for a more deeper look at this topic. Gaining competition advantage at McKesson Information Solutions. In this particular case, there's a problem. There's an inadequate performance appraisal system. Solution is to develop an effective performance appraisal system. This is not an unusual or uncommon circumstance. Performance appraisals are designed with the intention of understanding and measuring an employee's performance. If it's not done properly, unfortunately, it needs to be corrected and corrected quickly. How the new performance appraisal system enhance competitive advantage. Workforce becomes more motivated, employees' job satisfaction levels are enhanced, and retention rates are increased just by simply correcting the performance appraisal system. What is a performance appraisal? It is the evaluation of a person's performance once it is well defined. Accurate appraisals help supervisors fulfill their dual roles as evaluators and coaches. As a coach, a supervisor is responsible for encouraging employee growth and development. As an evaluator, a supervisor is responsible for making judgments that influence employees' roles in the organization. Using social comparisons to rate employees' performance has somewhat of an advantage over simple, absolute rating standards in making such judgments. Although procedural justice is often thought of as a unidimensional construct, recent research shows that in the performance appraisal content, it can be conceptualized as two-dimensional. A manager's assumptions about whether an employee can change or not influences the employee's perception of the procedural justice with which their last performance appraisal was conducted. Ideally, actual performance and measured performance are the same. Practically, this is seldom the case. Measuring operational performance is easier than measuring managerial performance because of the availability of measurable or quantifiable data. Measuring production performance is easier than measuring research and development performance because of the reliability of the measures. Research focused on measuring motivation for task performance found that wording and contents influence the validity of direct self-reports. The accompanying science feature shows the effects of accuracy and performance evaluation on subsequent task performance. And that's what we're going to be talking about next. Linking performance appraisal to competitive advantage. Performance appraisals should accurately assess the quality of the employee job performance. Job performance can be improved in two ways: directing employee behavior towards organizational goals or monitoring behavior to ensure that those goals are met. Performance appraisals can help assess the quality of employee performance. As you can see, the umbrella, that's performance appraisals. What does it do? Performance appraisals will improve job performance, make correct employee decisions, ensure legal compliance, and minimize job dissatisfaction and turnover. A performance appraisal is an opportunity for a supervisor to meet with a subordinate and review the subordinate's performance in the workplace. Let's give an example here. An employee that is always late to work. When they have a performance appraisal, this is going to be noted. Usually everything's documented. So for example, what would wind up happening is the employer would say, well, you were late on July 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th. You were 20 minutes late. Everything's documented. You review it with the employee, and then you have a follow-up date at which time you can meet with that employee and go through whether or not they've actually improved their performance. It is at that time you will have to make a decision as to whether you're going to keep that employee, continue to evaluate that employee, or unfortunately terminate that employee. The standards for effective performance appraisal systems depends on the quality of the rating form, the accuracy of the ratings, and legal standards. The standards for effective performance appraisal system. The quality of the rating form related to relevance, the degree to which the rating form includes necessary information, criterion deficiency, omission of pertinent performance criteria, and criterion contamination, which is the inclusion of irrelevant criteria on the rating form. And when we're talking about the rating form, we're just talking about how that performance is actually measured. You want clear performance standards that indicate the level of performance an employee is expected to achieve. You want to be able to help direct employee behavior. You want to help supervisors provide more accurate ratings. Much like a paper that's returned to you as a student to help you recognize what you did and did not do correctly on the paper, performance appraisals are along the same lines. If you think about it, without feedback, how will an employee know whether he or she is doing a good job? You also want to look to the accuracy of the ratings. Accurate ratings reflect the employee's actual job performance level. Inaccuracy is most often attributable to the presence of rater errors. A leniency error is raters provide ratings that are unduly high. Severity error, ratings are unduly low. Causes of these types of errors, both leniency and severity, could be for political reasons, the rater's lack of conscientiousness, or personal bias. You would look at this almost as favoritism within the workplace. Central tendency error. Appraisals purposely avoid giving extreme ratings even when such ratings are warranted. The causes of central tendency error, administrative procedures, and endpoints of the rating scale are unrealistically defined. Now we look at a concept that's called the halo effect. The halo effect is when the appraiser's overall impression of an employee is based on a particular characteristic. The halo effect acts as a barrier to accurate appraisals. And the halo effect is caused due to vague rating standards and failure to conscientiously complete the rating form. I want to just go over, before I complete this PowerPoint, the 5 key characteristics of an effective performance appraisal system: validity, reliability, responsiveness, flexibility, and equitability. Validity comes from capturing multiple dimensions of a person's job performance. Reliability comes from capturing evaluations from multiple sources and at different times over the course of the evaluation period. Responsiveness allows the person being evaluated some input into the final outcome. Flexibility leaves it open to modification based on new information such as federal requirements. And equitability results in fair evaluations against established performance criteria, regardless of individual differences. So, since we've gone through this PowerPoint, I believe the important thing the takeaway here, the important thing to remember is that performance evaluations or appraisals are designed to actually help the employee by providing the employee with feedback about how they can improve in their job. However, as you can see, there are a lot of errors that could potentially occur when either performing the performance appraisal, not maybe giving appropriate feedback, or maybe not giving it at all, or not giving it constructively, or simple political bias can come into play. So I do hope that you enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation. Once again, it is extremely important that you augment this PowerPoint presentation with readings from your textbook. Thank you, and have a great day.